Hello, let me show you how Syllograph works. You have this graph and you can put on arguments, and these arguments, they have premises. You can add several of them and remove them as you wish, and you have a conclusion. And in a deductively valid argument, you want to construct your premises such that if they are true, then the conclusion has to be true. And that's a formal argument. It's a syllogism, and hence the name Syllograph. You can delete the arguments and add more. And if you click these, like the negating signs, then the premise will get an objection and the argument will turn red. And it turns red when it has any successful objections. This one is a successful objection because it doesn't itself have any successful objections. But if it did, then this would be turning red. And this will no longer have any successful objections, so it turns green. And so you can sort of like just determine whether some argument is successful based on the color. Alright, so let's try to demonstrate some of the features by making a really good argument, you know. And what better than, this one. Let's start with P on floor bad. Stand and P means there's a risk of P on floor. Alright, you need a new premise. It says on stand and P. It's optional. You don't have to do it. You can P in other ways. And let's just make a general statement that if X is optional and comes with a risk of something bad, then you shouldn't do X. And the conclusion would be that you shouldn't stand and P, which is a really, really great and good argument. Maybe someone would disagree with one of the premises though, because they can't just disagree with the conclusion if this is valid. So they might say, okay, I think this could apply to basically anything, almost anything. So maybe they would say, if you shouldn't do X, if X is optional and comes with a risk of something bad, then you shouldn't get out of bed, which is clearly stupid. Like, getting out of bed is fine. Therefore, doing X can be fine even if it's optional and comes with a risk of something bad. Alright, so where to go from here? Let's say someone could make a counter argument to this one. But let's say, just for the sake of demonstration, that they are going to be like, you know what? You have the burden of proof on this claim. I don't need to even provide a counter argument for it. And you're like, I didn't know I have the burden of proof. Well, let me create a supporting argument for this. And that's what this button is for. So if I click this, I will get into a subgraph. And it's an argument here which can't be deleted. And the conclusion is getting out of bed is fine. So this is a supporting argument. And for this one, let's say if X is great and Y is necessary for X, then Y is fine. And as an example, peeing in toilets, it's great. It's amazing. getting out of bed, it's necessary in order to pee in the toilet. And therefore getting out of bed is fine. So now this one is green, and if we go back using this arrow here, then we would see that this is green as well, indicating that there is a supporting argument and it's successful. Okay, so if we were to go back in and, maybe someone adds a little objection to this one. Maybe they'll say, having money to buy a yacht is great. Whoops. And exploiting a monkey and a donkey for profit is necessary for having money to buy a yacht. But exploiting a monkey and a donkey for profit is not fine. Therefore, Y is fine doesn't follow from, I'm going to type this correctly now, from X is great and Y is necessary for X. And you can go on like this forever with all kinds of good and bad arguments. And now this one turned red, which means that if we go back, then it's red here, indicating that there is a supporting argument, but it has, it's unsuccessful, which makes this whole argument unsuccessful, which means that this argument doesn't have any successful objections. Alright, so other than that, I guess I can show the parallel feature, which is useful for some other things, like you can drop an argument into it, like this. And let's say that someone makes like a really specific argument, like if eating meat is natural, then eating meat is fine. Eating meat is natural, therefore eating meat is fine. So the parallel is like a search and replace kind of thing. So you can click this plus icon and you get a copy of this argument down here. You can't really change it, but you can observe it. And then you can just search one term like eating meat, and you can replace it with stealing, which also arguably is natural, and therefore we would be fine under this logic. So you can use it to sort of take something and show how it would turn out using the same logic. You can add more too, like you can have as many as you want, and you can replace it with other things like killing humans. So you would have that over here. If killing humans is fine or natural, then killing humans is fine, and so forth. You use it for like reductio ad absurdum. Anyway, that's probably the most important features. You should also know that you can save your graph. So I'm going to save this as p arguments. And you can load this afterwards, and it's going to all be here. What you can also do is to click share, and you're going to get this share URL. And you can click it, copy it, and if you paste, like you can send this to your friend or something, yeah, they can paste it into their browser, and they will get a copy of your arguments. And then they can, you know, make edits as they like, and they can click on share again, get a new link for you and send it back to you, and so forth. I haven't really like made any account system and collaboration system other than that, so for now I think that will do. So yeah, I guess that's it. There's some other things I haven't said, like you can zoom in and out, which is useful. And there's like a focus feature, like if you have a lot of branches like this, and it just goes and it becomes very unmanageable. Maybe you have like multiple objections to the same argument, and you know, just a whole bunch of things. I don't know, maybe it's useful to like isolate one chain and like just look at that one alone. Yeah, I think that kind of does it. So let me know if you have any feature requests, and I'll definitely think about it. And yeah, hope you like it.